Assalamu alaikum. Here we go again. The same Western thugs in suits, Washington and Tel Aviv, another Muslim nation, demonized, cornered and attacked. But no, they'll tell you it's not a war on Islam. Behind the headlines of defense and deterrence lies a pattern. The same colonial Western powers, the same fabricated lies and the same brutal playbook. For decades, the US, Israel and other Western states have acted like modern-day thugs, robbing nations of their wealth, sabotaging their sovereignty, bullying the Middle East and rewriting international law to fit their empires. The truth is, colonialism didn't die. It just wears a suit and calls itself democracy. It's in the West's DNA, its ideology, its policies, its institutions, and today it marches on with Iran. When a street gangster says pay us or we'll smash your store, we call it mafia tactics or gangsterism. When the US says comply or we'll unleash Israel on you and attack you, they call it foreign policy, negotiations, diplomacy, or democracy. They are just colonial thugs as they were always. Britain, France, the US dressed in suits. And this is exactly how the United States and Israel conduct their so-called diplomacy with Iran. As for Trump, he just ripped the mask off. He gave Iran a gangster's ultimatum. Agree to our dictated terms on your nuclear program or face more Israeli attacks. Let's be clear, this isn't negotiation, it's extortion. Israel just bombed over 100 targets within Iran, killing scientists, generals, civilians, children. And Trump's message, I think it's been excellent, he said, of Israel's strikes in an ABC interview. More of this unless Iran surrenders. This is not diplomacy, this is diplomatic terrorism, and the West, silent. Not a single Western power condemned Israel's illegal, unprovoked strikes on Iranian soil. Instead, preposterously, they told Iran, the country under attack, to show restraint, to de-escalate and to stay calm. French President Macron even blamed Iran, saying it bears responsibility for destabilizing the region. This is the twisted Western hypocrisy. They talk of international law while breaking it. They talk of non-proliferation while backing a rogue nuclear state. They speak of justice while shielding genocide criminal. And they speak of existential threats like they once spoke of weapons of mass destructions. Same script, same lies, same agenda. Israel, a state that refuses the NPT, the non-proliferation treaty, it refuses inspections, and it holds hundreds of undeclared nuclear warheads. It's treated like a saint. And Iran, a country that hasn't even built one, is treated like a threat to the whole of humanity. As for the bigger picture, the truth is the US and Israel are not threatened by Iran. On the contrary, Iran has worked with the US on a number of different occasions. As for the so-called negotiations, they were a sham from the very onset. Whilst they pretended to talk, the US and Israel quietly prepared the battlefield. Intelligence was handed over, target dossiers were prepared, attack routes were mapped, and just days before the strikes, over 300 Hellfire missiles were sent to Israel in a quiet, large-scale resupply. Reports reveal the Trump administration had known about the Israeli plans to hit Iran for months. The CIA was briefed in April and then in May, fully aware that Israel was planning unilateral strikes on the Iranian nuclear sites. Time to build a case, move weapons, and get the media in line. Meanwhile, Israel needed a distraction from Gaza. World opinion was turning against its genocide. Start another fire, point at Iran. Netanyahu's government on the verge of collapse, barely surviving a no-confidence vote. A UN-backed conference on Palestine, threatening to recognize Palestine, co-hosted by France and Saudi, was suddenly postponed after Israel launched its attacks on Iran. Zionist warmongering and the possibility of a Muslim nation in the Middle East developing this technology is something just not acceptable to the US or the Zionists. Don't be fooled by the headlines. This was never about negotiations. This was outright thuggery by Western colonialist warlords in suits, doing what they've always done: loot, bomb, divide, and rule. Colonialists don't know law, order, or justice. They only understand interests, profits, and power. Don't you see how all the colonial Western powers all unite in their defense of the Zionist aggressor or remain silent? And neither will they ever be happy or just stop with Gaza, Palestine, and now Iran. Pakistan has long been on their wish list: nuclear armed, strategically vital, and most importantly, Muslim. The Muslim states have a great stain and an enormous shame. They abandoned their Muslim brothers and sisters in Gaza and Palestine, witnessing a genocide in silence, thinking they are saved, but it's come home to roost for Iran. Isn't it time the Muslim world woke up? The political unity of this ummah, a united leadership, a united voice under the Khilafah. Until the Muslim world throws off the shackles of nationalism and colonial borders, until we stand together as one ummah under one leadership, we will be picked off one by one. Gaza, Palestine, Iran, Pakistan. The message is clear: unite or be conquered. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.